Anyway, let's talk about this. That's right, the title itself. The Avengers Endgame.
Do you want some food, Christian?
No, I actually had a little bit of that.
There you
It
go.
helped my head out a little bit.
Good.
But there's this fucking movie coming out called Avengers Endgame, and it's going to be going up against.
Everyone dies, Cody.
Yeah, it's going to be going up against a lot of these big budget action movies that have hit the box office, and Avatar's the number one. Avatar's the one that has hit the record at what, 2.7 billion or something like that. Is that the record?
It's kind of ridiculous.
It's something
Let's pull
crazy.
it up.
But now they're saying that Avengers is going to shatter all these records, all these different records, but no one's really thinking that it can hit Avatar, because Avatar, and I got to be honest, I don't either, because even if
How much money did Avatar make?
I think it was worldwide, I think it was 2.7, right?
Yep, 2.787.
Right. It's almost $2.8 billion. Okay. So what's number two?
Makes me so mad.
Is it Titanic? Is Titanic number two?
I don't know. Let me go back.
Isn't it one? Isn't it the second one? Isn't it Star Wars?
I think Star Wars is three. I think Force Awakens might be three, but it's not easy to do, because Titanic was the champ for a shit ton of years.
Yeah.
Like, what was it, 96
until a superhero
96
movie,
until
or Star
2000.
Wars.
No, it was Avatar.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
So Titanic is number 2, then
Right.
Force Awakens
Oh.
number
Number
3,
three.
Infinity
Titanic
War
is
number
still
4.
number 2. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was Titanic? 1.2.1.
2.18.
And then
Force Awakens, 2 billion,
2
68.
billion.
Yeah.
And it took Force Awakens. It took, again, really, from what everyone thought, as far as it united all the Star Wars fans again, and everyone was so psyched to see Star Wars, and that only cracked 2 billion.
Yeah.
Only 2 billion.
Yeah.
Only.
As opposed to,
I
where
would like only $2 billion.
Titanic, and now being able to do that. Avengers has a shot, because it's closing out, and I was talking to Ben Bateman about this the other day too, and we're asking if the MCU to this generation is really, it's what Star Wars was to our generation.
Right.
That's
MCU
exactly
is to
what I
this
thought,
generation.
yeah.
I agree with it 100%. This is like the ending of this particular chapter, even though officially, I guess, Spider-Man ends Phase 3.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's going to catch it. I think it'll get close. I think it'll beat Force
Titanic?
Awakens. I don't think it'll beat Titanic. I
So you
it's gonna
think it'll
clock
be
in at
top?
number
It'll
3.
end up top 5.
Yeah, it'll be number
yeah.
3. It'll be number 3, because people are going to. This is a movie, 3 hours or not. People will go back and watch again. I've seen it twice already, and I want to see it 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
It gets better, and it got better. It got way better, and I loved it the first time. I liked it, and I had said in my review, and it's funny because I did the review that day. I think I like it better than Infinity War, because when I initially saw it, I felt the opposite.
As someone, I didn't like Infinity War as much as everyone else.
Yeah.
But my favorite film critic actually hated Infinity War and loved this one. So do you think I'm going to like
Is
this
your
one? Do you think
favorite
it's-
film
Jeff
critic
Snyder?
Rebecca M.
Oh.
Ford?
No.
Oh,
Why did she hate the
I
first
don't know. I
one?
didn't look at her review.
You might. It just depends on what you
I just hear this one's way better than
It's
Infinity
just
War.
I like the. It's funny because when I saw it the first time, I said I still think I like Infinity War better. And then once I saw it the second time, and knew more what was coming, and just went for the ride, I was like, this is more. It's more emotional. It ties in a little bit better, and I think that I think there's way more character development.
Because there was friends of mine at the premiere. Oh, one of them ran into you. She said, Nicole.
Oh, yes.
Nicole.
Yeah.
And she, they liked it a lot, and they haven't even seen all the other movies. And
wow.
and they were crying, like they were
Yeah.
emotional about it. Like they said it was really good.
What are you gonna say, Josh?
This is the first Marvel movie I've seen, like Avengers style, right? That as soon as it was over, I wanted to start it over again.
You wanted to see it again.
Because I walked out of Infinity War,
You
and
fell
again,
asleep.
I fell asleep during Infinity War too, the first time. And I loved Infinity War. I loved this one so much that I know Amanda's going to want to go see it, and I'm glad that I went to a screening so that we can go see it, either this weekend or like early next week when it's it's not as crowded on the weekend kind of stuff. And I'm so excited to see it again. And I was that way about Infinity War, but this is like times 4 that. So I think that the rewatchability factor of Endgame and all this kind of stuff is gonna take it. I think that it's gonna be 2. I think it's gonna be Titanic.
You think it's going to beat Titanic? I don't think you're crazy for thinking that, but it's just such a hard feat to do, because it took Force Awakens a long time. And here's another reason why Force Awakens had an edge up on this movie, is because you're right in the middle. You're starting summer. Because then you're gonna then Disney is gonna be its own worst enemy, because it's got Aladdin, it's got Lion King, and it's got all these, and there's 1 or 2 others it's got coming out too. But those 2 alone are gonna kick it in the nuts.
I think why I think it's going to be Titanic.
Spider-Man. Spider-Man also.
Spider-Man. Yeah.
When Titanic came out, obviously everybody knows it didn't have a huge opening weekend. Then word of mouth, it took it forever. And I remember riding the bus to school my freshman year of high school. And I sat next to this girl, and I was like, "What'd you do all summer?" And she's like, "I saw Titanic 11 times." Right?
Wow.
And she was so excited about it. I mean, it was still in the theaters 5, 6, 7 months later.
Yeah.
I think that because Infinity War or Endgame is like our swan song for this generation of things, right?
Yeah.
That it's our we don't know what's next. People are going to be investigating to see some of the the Easter eggs of what could happen next, the ending, like dissecting all the stuff. I think this has way more of a rewatchability factor than say Infinity War, because when we were done with Infinity War, everybody's like, when is Endgame coming? I got to see how these undust.
Yeah,
right?
it's a series finale.
Yeah.
Correct. So that fact, like, I'll go back and watch the Breaking Bad finale anytime, Sopranos finale anytime.
Right.
I think that this has that finale factor to it. I think it'll stay in theaters longer, and I think it'll hit like 2.2.
Yeah.
It's got.
I mean, I think
yeah.
for those reasons and the rewatchability factor and the fact that you guys made a good point about how it's this generation's franchise, I think it could beat Avatar.
You think it's going to be
It
Avatar?
could.
I don't know.
I don't
But
know.
it
It
could.
could. Like worldwide,
But
It's really hard.
I think worldwide it's going to make a lot of money.
The other reason is that December factor, man. Avatar had it
That's-
also.
oh, it's the
December, January,
summer
February,
release
March.
there.
Nothing's going out. Nothing's coming out.
Avatar again.
Right, and because it was such a spectacle and so different back then, and the superhero movie really hadn't popped. There were superhero movies, but it hadn't popped the way that it is now.
And you know what's crazy about it too is because Avatar didn't win the Academy Awards, I think it actually got a bump because people are like, well, why didn't it? I'm gonna
And
go
went
back and watch
in.
it.
So, but
That's
then,
true.
like I said, with summertime, like this officially starts the summer season of movies, right?
Totally.
And it's going to start getting chipped on with all these other movies that keep coming out, and it'll still do very well. But I just can't see it catching Avatar. But I don't
Maybe
think the Titanic calls
Titanic-
crazy. I just
Maybe
think
it
it's going
becomes
to be
number
hard.
2.
Maybe. What do you think, Riley?
Well, it's so interesting. I didn't even realize Avatar, Titanic, and Force Awakens all December releases. And they're all the top 3
That's what I'm
worldwide.
saying.
So I think it could beat Force Awakens for sure. Titanic, I don't know. I mean, if we're talking Infinity War though, at $2.048 billion, they got to get another $200 million.
There's no chance. There's no chance they're going to get to Avatar. They might.
Avatar is
There's no chance.
unbelievable. Every
No.
time I see this number, people went to this thing 15 times
What, to
in
Avatar?
the theaters. Yeah, I mean 2.78
And I think a lot of
billion?
people are going to see this in the theater too. I just
Yeah.
don't think.
Yeah,
It's,
but that
it's,
was
again,
also
it's
IMAX,
the summer. It's the summer
IMAX
season. It's
tickets
just-
and whatnot. But we have IMAX tickets here for this too. So
Is it also too is some of the Marvel movies don't have as big of international appeal as Avatar did because it wasn't something you had to have experienced before. Like Avatar was
A
huge.
new
Right.
story.
Yes.
kind of
Yeah.
build
Don't
this new
forget,
technology.
don't forget about the other major thing with Avatar was that it was required 3D. You
Yeah.
had to have it in 3D, so that's an extra like $3 or $4.
Well, and
Yeah.
that's the way they were also selling it, right?
Yeah.
Like they were selling it in the sense that it's like,
Revolutionary.
it's like a groundbreaking
Right.
technological experience. Whereas like here, it's like that's a good point too that you have a kind of it's not a niche audience, but it's a specific audience that like not everybody watches superhero movies.
I mean, well, the only argument against that is that Avengers, the last one, Infinity War, it's still, was it, Riley? It's number 5 or 6 or something? 4. It's number 4. So I mean,
$2 billion.
It is. It's
So
still
much money.
a lot of
2.04.
There's a lot of casual fans that will go see it, but that number is just crazy. It's a crazy number to hit.
So you don't think any movie's going to beat it ever?
I don't know about that because I mean it's one of those things. It just depends on what comes out in December, what kind of hype is behind it, what kind of new technology, what ticket prices are like in the future, and all those types of things. That's possible. But as Dorian listens to the show majority of the time,
Yeah,
if he's
spoiled The
listening,
Sixth Sense for him.
I know if he's listening, I would love to get a poll up on Collider Video just to see if the audience would what they think. Will Endgame catch Avatar's box office worldwide record? And let's see if we get that. See if Dorian.
write 'em.
Do you think that James Cameron just wakes up in the morning and he brushes his teeth? He just
With
number
money?
one,
With
number
money.
2,
Yeah.
number, like he's
With
got
a
toothpaste.
$100 bill.
Yeah,
He's just
just-
brushing
He beat
his teeth.
himself.
It's not a great idea for your teeth, but yeah.
No, there's not one person in the world, and,
Yeah.
and if they say it, they're lying. There's not one person in the world that said, "Oh, this Avatar thing that he's doing is going to overtake Titanic."
No.
Because everyone thought that Star Wars Phantom Menace was going to take out Titanic back in the day, and that didn't happen. But the fact that he did it, I mean, that was unheard of. It was crazy.
Yes.
He was able to do that. Did you get in touch with him, Riley?
Yeah, I just slacked him.
All right, cool.
Do we know how many theaters
he did
these
it.
movies?
You did it? Good.
Oh, here it is.
Fantastic.
Do you know how many
quick.
like theaters these movies are usually in? Like on
17
average,
to 27,000.
That's another big thing. Is it just it's how many theaters
you.
are in, and I think because one of the main reasons it's got a chance is because some AMC's are staying open to like
20. They're staying open 72 hours the whole
Crazy.
weekend.
So,
Yeah.
like,
starting tonight.
so you can go see this movie at like 3 in the morning. You know, if you
The
work at a
polls-
hospital or something.
The poll's already going, and 51% say yes, it's going to catch
already
up.
had 200 votes.
200 votes already.
Yeah, over 200
Go on over to
votes.
Collider Video. I want to see this. Go over to Collider Video, the Twitter page, please, and go vote. I mean,
I said no.
20 minutes.
If there are 2,000 of you, how many are
vote,
watching
yes.
right now live? Do we have that?
About 2,400.
2,400. So if there's 2,400 people to vote on this thing, and you know what, Cody, do you have access to the YouTube channel at the moment?
Probably.
Do you know how to make that the live post, the poll?
Oh, I don't know how to do that.
All right, well, I'll have to do it later.
I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Do you think that with Endgame and all Avengers, all this kind of stuff, do you think if it doesn't break, like let's just say it doesn't break Titanic or something like that, is it like would it be considered
Failure?
No.
No, dude, it's gonna break.
I know that's a stupid question. I'm just thinking,
No,
like-
I will think. I do tell you, I think it's gonna break Force Awakens' record for domestic.
Yeah.
I think it'll crack
Yeah.
a billion.
Yeah.
It'll
crack a billion?
Yeah, domestically, because Force Awakens was like 980 or some shit.
See, I said 895. I think yesterday was my domestic prediction.
Oh, okay. I think,
I think it's going to be 3 at the least. Like it's going to be Force Awakens in general.
Oh no, that was opening weekend. I
You're
thought
talking
that
opening weekend.
that was
Opening weekend we
895
did.
international.
I'm talking about the whole domestic
Yeah, yeah,
run. Because the whole domestic
Yeah.
run was 895 for domestic or something or was it nine
Let me go
something
back.
What was it?
for it was
8 or
9.
9?
There
Thank
it
you.
is.
But it
Domestic 936.
936. I think it'll break 936 domestic.
Okay.
For sure.
I think it'll go a billion domestic. I think it's a good call.
That's what I'm saying.
They should
Yeah.
just give us some of that money.
I know. Because that's the thing. If it does $1 billion here,
Yeah.
and then it can do 1.7 overall,
Yeah.
it's possible.
Yeah,
But
it is
I
possible.
just don't think it's gonna happen.
Okay.